Thank you. You may be seated. The Secretary shall read the third order of the day.
Order number 3, Policy and Budget Speech on Vote 8, Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport.
I now call upon the MEC for Public Works, Roads and Transport, Honorable T.S. Chomo, to deliver the policy and budget speech.
Hey, abezwa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Let me extend my sincere and heartfelt greetings to yourself, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Masango, the Honorable Premier in absentia, Chief Whip of the Majority Party, my colleagues, members of the Executive, the Honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, Portfolio Committee members. Let me also, Speaker, take this opportunity to, on behalf of the Department of Public Works, Road and Transport, extend my sincere appreciation to the former Chair of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Chester Saidel, whom we enjoyed a constructive working relationship. We wish her well and all the best in her new responsibility as the member of the Executive, as she has been recently appointed the MEC responsible for economic development in the province. But also let me take this opportunity to extend my sincere and heartfelt greetings to the Chairperson of House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Kgoshi Mokoena, and your members seated next to you, Executive Mayors and Councillors present here, Salga Chairperson, Councillor Walter Mngomezulu, who is also here with us, the Director General, Ms. Margaret Kosana, the Superintendent General responsible for the Department of Public Works, Road and Transport, Mr. Charles Morake Morolo, senior managers and employees of the Department of Public Works, leadership of the African National Congress present here, led by the Provincial Secretary, Comrade Muzi Chirwa, members of the Alliance partners, different political parties, MK Party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, DA, Freedom Front Plus, Section SA, that are part of this session. Central Provincial Head, Ms. Mabui Mhlanga, representatives of business and labor formations, leadership of the taxi and bus industries that are here, esteemed guests, representatives of the media, ladies and gentlemen, it is both an honor and a profound privilege to deliver the policy and budget speech for the Department of Public Works, Road and Transport, Vote 8, for the 2025-2026 financial year. This address takes place just 11 days after we have laid to rest the former Premier and Deputy President, Comrade Didi Mabuza, a committed servant of our people. His visionary leadership laid the foundation for many infrastructure projects that are presently changing the lives of our people here in Mpumalanga. As the 7th administration, we are privileged to have completed many of these projects, which include the Mpumalanga International Food Market, Mkondo Boarding School, New Middleburg Hospital, with others still underway in fulfilling of the legacy entrusted to us. Honorable Speaker and members of the House, please allow me to anchor this policy and budget speech on a timeless African proverb, one that has echoed through the works of our scholars, oral traditions, African literature, and the reflection of our elders. And I quote, "No matter how long the dry season, the river always remembers its path." Close quote. This proverb is more than remembers its path. Close quote. This proverb is more than poetic wisdom, but it is a philosophy of resilience, memory, and direction. It reminds us, Honorable Speaker, that even in the face of austerities, budgetary constraints, project delays, and unexpected disruptions, whether caused by economic downturns, administrative inefficiencies, or climatic events, our purpose and commitment as public servant is to serve the people of economic growth and social progress and contribute to the improvement of the life of our people. Close quote. As the Department of Public Works to build infrastructure that does not only connect townships or towns and villages, but that connects people to opportunities, dignity, and development. Madam Speaker, the South African government is under a new coalition government comprised of political parties that are at ideological odds. To survive and sustain this coalition, we must find a middle ground, accommodate diverse viewpoints and interests. The primary purpose should be to unite our country and create stability in government in order to deliver on the priorities of the medium-term development 2024-2029. This plan is a critical building block towards a truly non-racial, non-sexist, democratic and prosperous society. As such, the province has aligned its priorities, programs, projects with the broad plan. It is therefore incumbent upon all political parties to positively contribute towards the achievement of this endeavor. The people of Mpumalanga expect us to work together to achieve this objective. Nelson Mandela's powerful words from the Rivonia trial highlighted his unwavering commitment to non-racialism and equality, emphasizing that he fought against both and white domination. His statement, and I quote, Madam Speaker, "I have fought against white domination and I have fought against black domination," close quote, underscores his vision for a democratic and free society where all people live in harmony and equality. The ANC-led government in Mpumalanga has embraced the strategic priorities that are drawn from the Government of National Unity Medium-Term Development Plan, namely, drive inclusive economic growth and job creation, reduce poverty, and tackle high cost of living, build capable, ethical, and developmental state. Madam Speaker, the Department of Public Works, Road and Transport is directly involved in achieving all these priorities set in the 2024-2025 financial year. This improvement was mainly related to infrastructure delivery and job creation, which I will elaborate on further, Madam Speaker, during my speech. Madam Speaker, as Professor Holzoyinka reminds us, and I quote, "For now, let us simply observe that the assault on human dignity is one of the prime goals of the visitation of fear, a prelude to the domination of the mind and the triumph of power," close quote. His words remind us that the true liberation is not only about policies and numbers. It is about restoring people's power to define their space, their needs, and their future. In this regard, Madam Speaker, infrastructure is not merely technical delivery. It embodies the recognition and respect of our people's dignity. It tells, Madam Speaker, a young learner in Tembisile that your future is within reach as we continue to connect communities through the Welisizwe Rural Bridges Program. It also our people's dignity. It tells, Madam Speaker, a young learner in Tembisile that your future is within reach as rural transportation system. But it also further tells, Madam Speaker, the young women in construction that you are not forgotten as we contribute to train, equip, and develop our Sakabaki contractor. But most importantly, Madam Speaker, it says to our people across Mpumalanga, you matter enough to receive basic infrastructure, to be connected, and to be served here in Mpumalanga, Kupunya Luthuli. Honorable Speaker, inclusive growth has been and continues to be a major focus of the 7th administration. For the next 5 years, government's overriding priority is to achieve more rapid and inclusive economic growth in order to create jobs, reduce poverty, and build more just and equal society. To achieve this, Mpumalanga needs to achieve between 3% and 5% economic growth per annum. However, the projected economic growth rate is less than 1% per annum. To address this, mass infrastructure rollout and attracting public and private investment are crucial for stimulating growth and job creation. Turning Mpumalanga into a construction site has the ability to create a multiplier effect which can lead to broader socio-economic benefit. Madam Speaker and members of the House, we have an ongoing responsibility to deliver critical transport infrastructure projects that contribute towards a positive impact on the lives of the people of Mpumalanga. During the 2024-2025 financial year, Madam Speaker, we completed 11 major roads projects and also undertook several roads maintenance works across the province. For example, in the community of Zitabeseng, Gemsboksspruit, Tweefontein in Kangala now has access to amenities due to the construction of paved roads in the various areas. These projects are fundamental to the success of the local economy and improving the quality of life for the people. It's 1 kilometers of provincial roads to Sanral was initiated. This process involves the handover of road maintenance and management responsibilities of some roads from the provincial government to the national agency. The transfer is part of the broader initiative to improve road conditions and development across the province. Sanral has been a reliable partner of the people and government of Mpumalanga for many years, Madam Speaker, which effect from this current year, the Roads Agency has embarked on a process to open offices across the country's 9 provinces. This strategic decision by the agency will enhance stakeholder engagement with the various provinces and municipalities. We are looking forward towards a harmonious and fruitful working relationship with Sanral under the provincial leadership of Ms. Mabuyi Mhlanga. This year, the province is investing 2,350 billion rand in transport infrastructure projects which will significantly improve the movement of people and goods. These projects include upgrade, rehabilitation, and maintenance of roads with a particular focus on those that are critical for access, rural development, and coal transportation on tourism. As a Department of Public Works, Road and Transport, we are committed to completing the following ongoing road projects or infrastructure projects during the 2025-2026 financial year. Number 1 is the reconstruction of Road D481 between Mooiplaas and Egulindeni, Phase 3 of culvert on Road D935 Limpopo bordering past Kajibana to D2740 Nokaneng in Kangala. Some of these new projects will commence in the 2025-2026 financial year. This includes the following projects: rehabilitation of Road P216/1 between Embalenhle to Sekunda in Gersibande, rehabilitation of Road D2940 from Piva to Mdladla, rehabilitation of Road D2950 from Steenbok to D79 here in Ehlanzeni, rehabilitation of Road D2571 from R27 to P171/1 Leightonburg bypass, upgrade of Road D2915 in Zitabeseng from Bundu to R25 Phase 2, which is about 3 kilometers in Kangala. As part of our continued commitment, Madam Speaker, to maintain and extending the life of our road infrastructure, I am pleased to report that several key roads have also been earmarked for special maintenance intervention in the current financial year across the province in all the districts to ensure equitable distribution of resources. These efforts forms part of broader strategy to ensure safe, reliable, and economically enabling road network across the province. Among these roads identified for this special maintenance, Madam Speaker, are these ones: Road D2546 to N17 to P168/1 Lotte Road, Road P52/13 Petal to Kriel, P5/4 Emelo to Amsterdam, P71, P7/1 Volkras to Wakkerstrom to Piet Retief Phase 1, P132/1 Ochis to Matla Power Station, D25 Polar Mall to Gauteng, D2915 to Road P207/1 to Road D2916, P95/1 Gauteng border to Limpopo, D298 Kwaggafontein, and D3932 Thulamahashe to Cottondale. The strategic bridge projects in Driekopies and Emalahleni announced in 2023 SOPA have made significant progress. Limpopo, D298 Kwaggafontein, and D3932 Thulamahashe to Cottondale. In support of the district development model, this program seeks to augment the existing government initiatives like Operation Valazonke to ensure a multifaceted approach to road maintenance. These initiatives are designed to improve service delivery by creating a more coordinated approach, leading both efficiency and effectiveness. Madam Speaker and members of the House, Mpumalanga has the largest concentration of coal-fired power stations in the country, with 11 out of South Africa's 14 coal power stations located within the province. The concentration means that provincial roads are vital for the transportation of coal to Eskom. Hence, it is a major contributor to the national economy. Therefore, preserving the coal haulage network is crucial for sustaining the country's energy supply and economic development. While South Africa, Madam Speaker, is transitioning towards renewable energy sources, coal remains a significant part of its energy mix. This means that thousands of trucks continue to haul coal to power plants across Mpumalanga. Reinstating the coal haulage grant will enable Mpumalanga to improve the road infrastructure supporting Eskom. The grant's return will allow the province to reallocate funds, freeing up resources to address critical road infrastructure needs. Madam Speaker and members, the Mpumalanga provincial government continues to prioritize social infrastructure investment to address inequalities and improve citizens' well-being. In the past year, a total of 141 social infrastructure projects were completed with a budget of 2.7 billion. These beautiful buildings and stand just as physical structures, but as symbols of government commitment to improve the quality of life for citizens and foster social and economic development. The Mpumalanga Parliamentary Village project has the potential to be a good investment for the province, but has experienced significant delays since inception. These delays emanate from various factors, Madam Speaker. These include land disputes and community protests, which results in underperformance of contractors. The department is committed to completing this project in the current 2025-2026 financial year. There is no doubt that the above-mentioned project, as well as the Mpumalanga International Food Market, Mkondo Boarding School, New Middleburg Hospital, have been amongst the most difficult projects undertaken by the Department of Public Works. The lessons learned from these projects have been integrated to our approach for future projects. These include improved planning, timely social facilitation, enhanced risk management, and strengthened project management. Building upon previous lessons, we are more capable, Madam Speaker, to facilitate social infrastructure development within the province. Collectively, our client departments have set aside an amount of 2.5 billion for implementation of 123 projects. Education has 105 projects. The Department of Health, led by MEC Saseka, has 6 projects. Culture, Sports and Recreation, led by MEC Mabuza, 6 projects. Social Development by MEC Hlope, 6 projects. My colleagues others have already provided more details in these projects during their policy and budget speech. It's only MEC Masina that is going to further detail or provide details on her projects tomorrow. Madam Speaker, public infrastructure investment is crucial for economic growth and job creation. The Mpumalanga Infrastructure Master Plan 2060 is a key component of the province strategy to leverage public infrastructure investment for economic growth and job creation. The plan also plays a crucial role in facilitating blended finance projects, which combine public and private funding. Madam Speaker, a useful point of reference to highlight successful collaboration between the public and private sector is the rehabilitation of P171/1 road between Mashishing and Rosenegal. This is a collaborative effort between the department and the mining houses that consist of Northernham, Dwars River Mine, Glencore, RPM, Two Rivers Mine, and Samco Chrome. The province continues to explore partnership to the accelerated implementation of public infrastructure. Madam Speaker, the Department of Public Works, Road and Transport plays an important role in the transformation agenda. It supports localization, cooperatives, SMMEs, and industrialization, which are vital for economic growth and job creation. Approximately 2.3 billion worth of contracts were awarded in 2020. P is a catalyst for reshaping supply chain, empowering local businesses, and building a more resilient and representative economy. When development is localized, it can bring significant benefits to communities, including job creation, skills development, and circulation of money within the area. However, construction mafias, Madam Speaker, pose a significant threat to Mpumalanga economic transformation and equitable inclusion by hindering development, driving up cost, and deterring investment. Therefore, it is crucial to recognize the root causes, which extend beyond the initial 30% for local companies. In response, government is implementing a multi-pronged approach which includes law enforcement, improving project planning, enhancing communication, and establishing robust social facilitation process. We will not allow lawlessness to reign supreme in our province. Honorable Speaker, South Africa's unemployment rate increased to 32.9% in the first quarter of 2025 from 31.9% in the last quarter of 2024. Mpumalanga saw a significant increase from 34.7% to 49.3% in the same period. Youth unemployment in the province remains a serious concern, Madam Speaker, at 62.4%, which is one of the highest in the country. This underscoring the urgency for inclusive economic growth and responsive job creation strategies. The departmental strategies to address unemployment amongst the youth, women, and people with disability include increasing participation in public employment programs, increasing vocational and skills-based training, and leveraging on public procurement. By focusing on groups that have historically faced marginalization, these strategies aim to promote greater social inclusion and equality. During the MTSF 2019 and 2024, the EPWP program created 177 and 188,000 job opportunities. They did work through the 30 public bodies across the province. The main beneficiaries of this program were women 65%, youth 45%, and persons with disability at 1%. I am glad to announce that Mpumalanga, Madam Speaker, Mpumalanga province is now the second best in the country in terms of job creation. This is a significant improvement from the 7th position that we occupied in the 2019-2020 financial year. In the next 5 years, Mpumalanga plans to create 191,733 work opportunities through EPWP. Women at 60%, youth at 55%, persons with disability at 2%. For the first quarter of the 2025-2026 financial year, a total of 12,110 work opportunities were created against the target of 9,319, including opportunities for 7,287 women, 5,652 youth, and 135 persons with disability. This program remains the backbone of creating employment in the province. The department will continue to provide training, mentorship programs to emerging contractors so that they become future employment creators. Also, biasness will be given to programs that specifically target youth unemployment, such as internships, learnership, and artisan development. We call upon the private sector to collaborate with the government to create both formal jobs and opportunities for self-employment, particularly for young people. Madam Speaker and members, the apartheid system in South Africa created a lasting legacy of social segregation, ensuring the affordability, accessibility of public transport. This national conditional grant is transferred to provincial government, which then contract with the private bus companies to provide services. The main beneficiary of these fundings are commuters who rely on buses, including those seeking economic participation, geographical dispersed population, and individuals in remote areas. In 2025-2026 financial year, Madam Speaker, the public transport operation grant has seen a 4.3% increase, rising from 775.8 million in the 2024-2025 to 810.6 million. This increase is intended to bolster public transport, positively impacting social inclusion and providing relief to low-income individuals. The department views this subsidy as a crucial tool for tackling high cost of living and reducing poverty. At the national level, discussions about integration of taxi industry into the government public transport subsidy regime are ongoing. Provincially, we are reviewing the integrated public transport plans of municipalities. Furthermore, we are assessing their ability to integrate various transport modes and their adherence to the legal framework set by the National Land Transport Act. The goal is to design a more efficient, cohesive public transport system. Madam Speaker and members, transport cost can be a barrier to education, especially for learners in rural and low-income areas. Therefore, the provision of scholar transport services by government helps ensure that most learners, regardless of their socio-economic background, have access to education. However, we must acknowledge that the demand for scholar transport exceeds the available budget. As a result of the limited resources, the department is unable to transport eligible learners within the province. This limited resources allocation has led to a disruption of service that directly infringe on learners' constitutional right to education. We want to assist learners to realize their right. The department will always endeavor to settle all the valid scholar transport invoices timeously within the 30 days period. This year, we have made available 518 million to facilitate the transportation of learners across the province. More importantly, the existing scholar transport contracts are being extended by 6 months. The extension provides the department with the necessary time to finalize specification. I think, Madam Speaker, members of the House and everyone have seen that we have already advertised this tender, and we are inviting capable bidders that are going to adhere with the National Land Transport Act. While some challenges in scholar transport stem from the broader societal issues like inadequate school infrastructure and funding, many problems are indeed self-made due to inefficient management, lack of proper planning, and inadequate oversight. To rectify this, the department has requested the public protector to investigate potential financial irregularities, non-compliance with regulations, focusing on contracts and payments, operation procedures. Madam Speaker, government continues to prioritize rural transport development to improve mobility and access in rural areas. A key initiative to this regard is the Welisizwe Bridge Program, a partnership between the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, the South African National Defence Force, Provincial Department of Transport. The rural infrastructure investment seeks to enhance access to essential services like schools, hospitals, and economic opportunities. In Tembisile, Madam Speaker, 4 bridges have already been completed. And 3 of 5 here in Komazi have been completed. To expedite this program, Madam Speaker, Mpumalanga has proposed the cost of living and reducing poverty. Honorable Masango, the Muloto Corridor is one of the rail corridors that could provide the link for approximately 60,000 commuters in Kangala with Tshwane metropolitan area. Mpumalanga can also benefit from the reinstatement of the train service along the N4 corridor to facilitate the movement of people between the province and Gauteng. The private sector involvement in the revitalization and provision of new rail infrastructure is therefore essential. These projects will largely be determined by the private sector appetite to partner with government. For example, PRASA, the rail reform program intends to re-establish rail as the backbone of transport for people and goods. This can also reduce congestion and travel time, leading to increased economic growth and spatial transformation. Madam Speaker and members, the department acknowledged the crucial impact of road safety on saving lives, facilitating economy and societal well-being. Hence, it is committed to improving this through infrastructure, law enforcement, and public awareness campaign. We have a legal duty through a transport regulation to ensure that there is compliance, that our roads are reasonably safe to use. Thus, the quality of our roads remains a vital element of road safety. Recently, we have experienced several culvert failures as a result of aging infrastructure and flood damages. This year, we will be prioritizing a replacement of an upgrade of 5 corrugated steel culverts. For example, the P177 between Caroline and Cresismere, P5/5 between Amsterdam and Nestin Border Gate, and P7/2 between Vakestrom and Mkondo. Amongst others, other critical initiatives to improve road safety include the repair of sinkholes, road signage, and road marking. The Transport Inspectorate Unit plays a crucial role in enforcing road safety laws through patrols and traffic checks, ensuring public transport operators comply with the regulation. The unit held a total of 5,183 roadside checks during the 2024-2025 financial year, with 18,266 summons issued and 18,120 unroadworthy and non-compliant public transport vehicles were impounded. On several occasions, I have joined this dedicated group of officers, the ones that are there wearing brown, to conduct a number of law enforcement operations across the province. Importantly, this operation include checks on scholar transport vehicles to ensure learner safety. This has enabled me to appreciate the good work done by our officer on daily basis and also gather data to inform strategic decisions. So I urge you, members of the House, not to run away when you see these members in a brown uniform. Nationally, there is a consensus that the introduction of a visible traffic policing on 24 hours, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year basis will deter traffic violation and improve road safety. To date, only the Western Cape and National Traffic Police have established a 24/7 shift system, whereas full implementation across all provinces is still ongoing. Provincially, we have increased visibility, especially in highly accident-prone zone. The Mpumalanga province is stepping up its road safety efforts beyond just seasonal campaigns, ensuring continuous awareness and enforcement. The province has adopted a comprehensive road safety campaign involving various stakeholders to reduce accidents and enhance road safety. It includes collaboration between government departments, state agencies, municipalities, road users, private organizations, and neighboring countries such as Swaziland and Mozambique. Madam Speaker, the NDP highlights the importance of a capable state that can effectively manage the economy, implement policies, and ensure that the benefit of economic growth are distributed fairly. In pursuit of this, we have spent the past few months reorientating and reorganizing ourselves in the department in ensuring that we build an agile organization. The department is transforming to become the implementing agent of choice within the province. A key aspect of this transformation is a shift to a regional-based service delivery model and insourcing of services such as scholar transport monitoring and grass cutting and other services. Our revised organogram is ready for the DPSA final endorsement. The approval of this structure is key prerequisite for the department to effectively deliver on its involvement or evolvement mandate. This fundamental change in our approach indicates the department's intention to capacitate cost centers which are at the coalface of service delivery. To achieve this, we have embarked on a program to address the shortage of personnel as well as plant and equipment. Furthermore, specific functions which were previously outsourced will be brought in-house as part of building internal capacity, Honorable Sedibe. Our main goal for the next 5 years is to strengthen the department so it can effectively implement itself. We're in line with what the EFF is calling for. To this regard, the department appoints 440 officials of the 570 posts advertised in the 2024-2025 financial year. In the current financial year, a balance of 133 posts which could not be filled previously due to budgetary constraints have been advertised. This includes a total of 98 road workers, road workers, and other personnel in pursuit of building internal capacity. To date, 3 DDGs and 1 chief director were appointed to stabilize leadership and management within the department. The recruitment process of the outstanding post is ongoing, and these are planned to be filled starting from 1 August 2025. We will also invest in skills development programs that align with our strategic goals and ensure the workforce has the necessary skills to perform effectively. Honorable Speaker and members, the department continues to explore alternative maintenance options. Options include resuscitating our mechanical workshops, among other measures. These interventions include refurbishment of workshops, appointment of additional artisans, procurement of minimum equipment, and automation of process flow. The department has conducted an assessment of workshops, and plans are in place to improve the buildings. In relation to fleet management, to date, the department has filled 29 posts as part of resourcing government motor transformation in the district. It has also procured 25 buses since the 2023-2024 financial year for our general labours. In addition, a budget of 27 million has been set aside for the procurement of 7 graders and other machineries for the 2025-2026 financial year. The availability of fleet is crucial for the state to function effectively and cost effectively. Original equipment manufacturers often change premium prices for parts and services for vehicles that are out of warrant. This issue is further complicated by slow turnout times for repair, thus impacting fleet availability. The decision to use Middelburg as a pilot workshop for improving fleet management is yielding positive results. This model will be replicated at Government Garage in Bombela and later rolled out in all regions in a phased manner. Madam Speaker and members, building capacity of the state also involve the optimal and efficient utilization of provincial immovable assets throughout their life cycle. This portfolio consists of 5,050 assets with an estimated required maintenance budget of 2.7 billion over a 5-year period. As the custodian, we are responsible for planning and managing the maintenance of these assets. But user departments, Madam Speaker, are expected to budget and incorporate maintenance costs into their own plans. I hope my colleagues in the executive, they hear. Effective state facility management demands significant financial resources, particularly for repairs, upgrade, and utility costs, which escalate as facility ages. In cognizance to this, we will develop a property optimization strategy to address the challenges of maintaining public buildings. This approach aims to find innovative uses for existing assets and acquisition of new ones through private investment. The Executive Council has since approved the disposal of state-owned houses to give Mpumalanga provincial government employees access to house ownership and to reduce the financial burden of maintaining these properties. The decision to dispose of the houses is part of the broader plan to dispose a total of 1,493 redundant properties implemented in phases, with the first phase focusing on 171 homes. This disposal will benefit employees who are legal occupants. Honorable Speaker and members, there are several options to build capacity of the state, and amongst them is through training and development of the workforce. Last year, 139 employees were placed on program for recognition of prior learning potential, leading to reduced study time or exemption from certain courses or modules. Also, 35 employees were trained on supply chain management, which is NQF level 4. These are some of the examples of our developmental focus that is aimed at building critical capabilities within the department. Madam Speaker, the department also offers numerous opportunities to young graduates to gain valuable work experience and professional registration through its internship and candidacy program. A total of 273 interns were placed on the internship program and 207 in the candidacy program. Central to these programs is the use of the workforce as an active learning environment and platform to implement talent management strategy. Additionally, Madam Speaker and members, the department has a learnership program that enables participants to gain theoretical and practical skills in the workplace. Strategic partnership with sector education and training authorities remains integral to address critical skills gaps and shortage for the economy. These partnerships are helping 240 learners gain practical skills and work experiences, which then improves their employability and career prospect. Madam Speaker, as at the 31st of March 2025, the department had 2,527 employees who in various programs, regions, and designation responsibility for the execution of its mandate. This employee compensation comprised of professionals, technical personnel, and practitioners from various disciplines who collectively are the backbone of the institution. The total workforce includes 37.8% women in senior management position, falling short of the equity target of 50%. We have done well on the representation of persons with disability by achieving 2.14%, which was above the desired 2%. Over the next 5 years, the department plans to achieve 50% representation of women in senior management and 7% employment of persons with disability across all levels. Gender equality indicators are part of a larger government effort to promote equality and inclusion, encompassing women, youth, and persons with disability. We have adopted a gender-responsive planning and budgeting approach that will assist us to address the current inequality. Madam Speaker and members, the eradication of corruption is an important milestone in pursuit to building an ethical state. The department is actively addressing corruption allegations, including dismissal of employees and disciplinary proceeding. A total of 3 employees were dismissed for various fraud and corruption-related activities during the previous financial year. This action encourages employees and the public to come forward with reports of misconduct and also foster a culture of transparency and accountability. The department's mandate includes procuring of goods and services on behalf of other provincial departments, particularly infrastructure and accommodation. This must be done in a fair, equitable, transparent, competitive, and cost-effective manner as outlined in the Constitution of the Republic. Introducing of the Public Procurement Act seeks to restore public trust and confidence in the procurement space. Madam Speaker and members, a developmental state uses digital technologies to make its process more efficient, strengthen service delivery, and enhance participation by citizens in government's matters. Digital transformation is crucial for strengthening state capacity because it will ultimately lead to a more responsive, accountable government. By leveraging technology, the department will move closer towards e-government. The business process automation project implemented by the provincial treasury is strongly linked to the automation of manual processes within the Mpumalanga provincial administration. The outline submission of substance and travel allowance claims and memo will lead to a faster turnaround time. Internally, the department is implementing improvements in project management and scholar transport monitoring through ICT solution. Madam Speaker and members, when I begin this address, I anchored in a timeless African proverb, and I quote again, "No matter how long the dry season, the river remembers its part," close quote. Let us draw strength from this truth. Rivers do not flow backward, and neither must we regress from the achievements we have made in the last financial year. The Department of Public Works, Road and Transport must continue, Madam Speaker, to be the river that delivers the lifeblood of infrastructure to communities in need. This brings opportunities through roads and that connects jobs, that uplifts and enterprise support that empowers, that restore dignity by building schools, clinics, and transport systems that meet the realities of our people, and that drives transformation by opening the opportunities for local contractor, artisan, engineers, and young professionals to shape an inclusive economy for the province. Madam Speaker and members, the budget for the 2025-2026 financial year is 314 million more than the 2024-2025 budget, representing a 5.6 increase. I now request the House to consider and approve the budget of the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport, Vote 8, which is as follows, rather. Under administration is 368,228,000. Public Works infrastructure is 980,197,000. Transport infrastructure is 2,869,230 rather 60. Oh, let me start afresh. Yeah. Under transport, yeah, listen properly. Under transport, 2,869,236,000 rand. I think I said it correct now. Transport operation, 1,558,352,000. Community-based program, 92,901,000. This takes us to a total of 5,876,914,000. I think I said it correct, CFO. Madam Speaker, the budget and plans presented today are crucial because they shape the future and reflect the public's expectation from those in power. To live up to this expectation, we must deliver, and not in words, but in a measurable progress. Moreover, we need to ensure that these resources are optimally utilized and that operation efficiencies are improved to achieve value for money. We dare not fail, Madam Speaker. Failure is not an option. As we deliver this budget and policy speech, our graders, Madam Speaker, continue to prepare surfaces and leveling the grounds for new developments for our projects across the province. Our TLPs are in motion, caving trenches and opening pathways to growth. Our tipper trucks, Madam Speaker, are holding the weight of delivery, ferrying the material of progress. Mechanized patchers continue to move steadily, sealing roads, and across the province, excavators and bulldozers are out digging foundations and clearing obstacles for development. Madam Speaker, let me take this opportunity to once more thank the Honorable Premier, Mr. Mandla Ndlovu, for entrusting me to lead this portfolio. It is a privilege few are given, and one that comes with a profound responsibility and expectation. I also wish to thank the African National Congress for the opportunity and responsibility. Lastly, let me take this opportunity, Madam Speaker, to also express my heartfelt gratitude to my family, in particular my wife, for her support and their support. This is really making me to move as a human being. Lastly, Madam Speaker, let me take this opportunity to thank all honorable members of the House and everyone that follows Public Works in doing our work. We take this opportunity to thank you. In Mpumalanga, Madam Speaker, Kupunya Luthuli. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Tomo, for the well-delivered policy and budget speech. Deputy Speaker, you are disrupting the sitting. The Secretary shall read the fourth order of the day.
Order number 4, consideration and debate on a report of the Portfolio Committee on Public Works, Roads and Transport, Vote 8, Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport.
I now call upon the Chairperson of Committees, Honorable F.V. Mlombo, to table the report.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I rise to request this August House to accept and adopt the report as presented. Thank you very much.
I have a speakers list in front of me. I will now call upon the Honorable T.S. Mafimbela, and you are given 8 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, Honorable Premier in absentia, Honorable members of the Executive Council, Honorable members of the House, distinguished guests, comrades, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Speaker, It is an honor and privilege to rise in this House on behalf of the African National Congress to express our full support for the budget vote 8 of the Department of Public Works, Roads and Transport for the 25-26 financial year. This department is a key driver of economic growth, job creation, and spatial transformation. It connects our communities to opportunities to ensure that essential services are accessible and lays the foundation for inclusive development. Public Works, Road and Transport is not just a department of cement and tar. It is a department of hope, dignity, and transformation. It is a tool for building the South Africa envisaged by the Freedom Charter and the National Development Plan. The department has been allocated a total budget of 5.8 billion for the 25-26 financial year. The bulk of this budget goes towards road infrastructure development and maintenance, construction and maintenance of government buildings, transport operations and regulations, job creation through the expanded Public Works Program, EPWP. This is a pro-development budget that speaks directly to the aspirations of the people of Mpumalanga. Honorable Speaker, this budget will upgrade and maintain our rural access roads to clinics, schools, farms, and emerging economic zones. With this budget, we will continue the Siyatendela program, empowering local communities through labor-intensive road maintenance. We need to prioritize the rehabilitation of storm-damaged roads and bridges, especially in disaster-prone municipalities. There is a need to support municipal infrastructure in partnership with Cogstar and Sanral. The expanded Public Works Program remains one of the most impactful tools to fight unemployment and poverty. We commend the department for creating EPWP work opportunities in the past financial year. We further commend the department for providing training and work experience to the unemployed, especially youth and women. Let us not only create jobs, let us create skills and pathways to long-term employment. Honorable Speaker, the department also plays a vital role in providing and maintaining government building and facilities, including scholar transport for thousands of learners in rural areas, taxi rank upgrades, and support for the taxi industry. The department of an integrated public transport network for improved mobility in urban and rural areas. We call on the department to strengthen project oversight, improve contractor accountability, and pay service providers within 30 days, especially emerging black businesses. Let us use this budget to change lives, connect communities, and move Mpumalanga forward, not in words, urban and rural.
Honorable Speaker, thank you, members of the legislature and all progressive leaders of our society. Ngibingelele kubondaba ezitha angeke ngisho ukuba ukuthi sanibonani ngizothi bayede makhosi. Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of Umkhonto weSizwe to express the position the party in respect of the budget vote as tabled. The party accepts the budget vote with the following consideration. The Department of Public Works, Road and Transport plays a critical role in managing and maintaining government assets, provision of the public infrastructure, and coordinating various projects and programs critically and job creation to the public. Therefore, it goes without saying that this department plays a critical role in dealing with the unemployment challenges we are facing as a society or as a country. Madam Speaker, while we acknowledge that the department's strategic plan of 2025 to 2020 is aligned with the National Treasury Framework, and the APP is compliant with the MKP, would like to ensure that these plans are implemented as such. It is our request that the department increase focus to innovative funding in view of the changing economic landscape, as well as the increased public demand on renew and innovative models. We are aware that there are a number of existing infrastructure lying unused and most dilapidated, and we call for a program to repurpose this to improve the quality of life of our people. In essence, we are saying that we need to ensure that our road network, rail, and other buildings are improved to ensure that our economy flourish without hindrances. The public transport and related infrastructure must be subsidized to ensure that the poor who are heavily reliant on these services can be served adequately. These services should be expanded to cover rural and semi-urban areas where the majority of our people reside. In the same light, we need to use this budget to foster professionalization of the public service, press the digital transformation, research and innovation in order for us to compete on the level playing field. Equally concerning, Madam Speaker, is the abuse of the order matters. We by the demand to create infrastructure for the poor people. This behavior of unending variation orders in the sign of ill discipline by managers who are not held accountable for the action, and that leads to the culture of impunity. In closing, Honorable Speaker, the Umkhonto weSizwe Party call upon the department to take swift action to address ill discipline among transgressors, because if such action is not taken, the department will suffer reputational damage and lose public trust. This can make it hard for the department to attract investors, talent and resources. As earlier said, the MKP party appreciates the effort and leadership provided by the MEC Thomo to tackle the issues head on, especially corruption. However, we remain resolute in monitoring the implementation of this supported budget. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I now call upon Honorable D.L. Muyela, and you are given 8 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, I'm extending my honor to the members of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, members of the Executive Council, distinguished guests and community members who are following us in all the different platforms created for them as part of public participation and involvement. And special greetings to Hoshim Gwena from the social and economic aspect of life. It is unfortunate that, Honorable Speaker, the detractors of our democracy wittingly turn a blind eye to the historic reality of this country and would mostly say it doesn't matter. Well, let me say to you, it does matter, Honorable Speaker, because our daily livelihood is about transformation and development. Honorable Speaker, infrastructure and expenditure during apartheid years was relatively high as a percentage of GDP. The apartheid state made extensive investment in infrastructure that served mainly in the white minority and maintained the apartheid state. In making these choices, consumption expenditure on education healthcare, housing, municipality service, sacrificed to facilitate the development of infrastructure for the privileged minority. These poor fiscal choices contributed to a high level of poverty and inequality subsequently faced by the democratic state, and which are still being addressed even today. Honorable members, post-1994, the trajectory began to shift in accommodating everyone across all racial lines. It was largely driven by the conviction that public works and reliable public facilities such as clinics, hospital, public transport, sanitation and utilities, telecommunication, and security and other that contributes to the economic development and the thriving nation. Honorable Speaker, the department is important. The department is important for several reasons. Amongst them are the effort made in providing essential infrastructure as public goods. The collaboration with SANRAL has resulted in substantial improvement on our road network, such as your N4, with a beautiful and state-of-the-art interchanges, such as Carino, Montrose, and currently underway Yoganyamazane, Matsulu interchanges, and lane expansion of your N17, N11, Moloto Road upgrade, Verina Road to Limpopo border, and the R40, among others. Furthermore, we have witnessed the construction and rehabilitation of the Provincial Road and the Welly-Sizwe bridges on our rural communities to easily cross our rivers and streams within the province. We must also commend the department for reviewing their approach towards the coal haulage roads network in the province, and more resources are needed to achieve this goal of reliable, safe, and secure coal haulage network in the province. The Provincial Road Infrastructure Grant has been able to make a difference in road infrastructure. We urge the department to continue initiating measures to tap resources within the infrastructure South Africa located in the presidency to construct and manage and, of course, maintain our public infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, the department has continued to maintain good working relations with public transport sector, and continuous improvement have been noticed, and the reduction in taxi strikes and blockages of roads. We applaud the department for that. We have been entrusted with such responsibility by our people, and we recommit ourselves in ensuring that the obligation bestowed in the department is fulfilled in this financial year. Public buildings provide essential services and support to community development, illustrating an immense contribution of our public infrastructure. This reminds me, Honorable Speaker, of Amilcar Cabral when he said, and I quote, "Always bear in mind that the people are not fighting for ideas, for the things in anyone's head. They are fighting to win material benefit, to live better and in peace, to see their life goes forward, to guarantee the future of their children," and close quote. We derive our inspiration from the value we place our children to be future leaders and professionals. It is our conviction, Honorable Speaker and members, as the ANC, that no child must be deprived their human rights to access education, health, and safe in their own land. Today, learners from poor background have access to education. It's all thanks to the people-centered movement, which is the ANC. We have ensured that children residing in farm areas who are studying in dilapidated schools infrastructure now are well taken care of in our boarding schools constructed by this department. Soon, Kondo Boarding School will be operational, and other boarding schools are operational, such as your Emakazeni, Steve Chwete, and many other boarding schools. Honorable Speaker, in the same vein, as school infrastructure, we've made constitutional mandate and commitment for access quality healthcare. Healthcare infrastructure is the backbone of any health system, and the ANC, we've taken a resolution to implement NHI through this infrastructure. Our people can now access quality healthcare in their localities. An example is the beautiful Kanyamazane Clinic that has been opened and operational, and many others. Through this department, there is also an obligation to manage and maintain existing health facilities. Many public hospitals and clinics are plagued by aging infrastructure, and we've seen a major improvement on this matter, Honorable Speaker. As I close, Honorable Speaker, the department has committed billions of rands in infrastructure value chain, including supply chain. The supply chain machinery has provided many contractors and communities with empowerment opportunities, and 30% local procurement is yielding results in that regard. Honorable Speaker, as the ANC, we fully support this budget as geared towards transformation, development,
conclude,
and
honourable
economic
member.
growth and development. As a committee, we shall, of course, continue to provide support and offer constructive criticism to the department and ensure that the department plays a very crucial role. I thank you, Honourable Speaker. If I was Honourable Tomo, he reminded me when he said, I thank my wife. I nearly said, I thank my wife and my girlfriend, reminding me one of the sports.
I will now call upon the Honorable M.N. Ngwenya, and you are given 6 minutes.
Uyaganga wena Desmond. Desmond. Ungafaki Honorable Tom Tindutako.
Honorable members, let us not interrupt
Speaker.
the Speaker. Honorable Ngwenya, you are given 6 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, let me start by greeting the CIC and the President of the EFF, the only and the real radical economic emancipation movement in South Africa. I greet you, Speaker, the Premier in absentia, and all honorable members of this august House. Honorable Speaker, the motto of the department says, South Africa works because of public works. But here in Mpumalanga, this is opposite, as most of the infrastructure ranging from roads, hospital, public buildings are dilapidated. Honorable Speaker, the Premier of Mpumalanga would say, Kuto Punyal to la in Mpumalanga. And the Department of Public Works, the Bugega ipunyisa litul, kota kupunyil tulula. Next. Kupunya kweli tul, kusho kutsi, ngabe sikhuluma nje, mkwaqo D2953, Gahoyi Village, eNkomanzi. Uqalile kwakhiwa, ngoba lo mgwaqo una 15 years. Uqilatekile. Kuphunya kwelithulu kusho ukuthi ngabe sikhuluma nje umgwaqo wase Klipval Roads in Mkhondo, because phase one was completed long ago, and the road is not complete without phase 2. So what is the department waiting for? Honorable Speaker, ensuring adequate water provision in hospital, the proper functioning of steam boilers, among other things, is the responsibility of the Department of Public Works. Honorable Speaker, instead of seeing Little Liapunya, we see Standerton, Temba, and Mpumalanga Hospital without water, facing families and relatives of the patient to bring bags with water to the hospital for their loved ones, so they cannot drink and bath. What shame to the department of the ANC. The road facilities caused by the potholes on our roads has reached a record alarming rate. Every week, people going or coming from work are dying on the roads, leaving behind young orphans as results of the potholes that are always over the provincial road, regional road, and the departments doing absolutely nothing about it. Honorable Speaker, the management of the scholar transport for the poor and the destitute learners is cause for concern. Most of the buses that are used for the learners are old and the roads wet, and the department has cancelled the contractor of the scholar transport operator and monitor in Ehlanzeni and Gert Sibande, thus exposing learners to the risk of being transported by unroad buses that does not even have brakes, which can lead to serious accident and loss of our children, like it happened in Middelburg last year. Another issue, Honourable Speaker, is the learners are being transported by drunk bus drivers without consequence because they are not monitored or breathless to test alcohol and substance abuse by the scholar transport monitor because they are not there. Honourable Speaker, there is also a case of the drivers who rape a 16-year-old learners who travel by the bus on daily basis. Still, the department is doing nothing about this kind of incident, which might happen repeatedly. In another case, a bus driver ran over a learner in Gert Sibande, killing the learners instantly, and all it happens because the bus and their drivers are not monitored.
Conclude, Honourable Member.
In conclusion, okay. Honourable Speaker, so you say we must go ahead and approve the budget to kill the children. Must we approve the budget to kill our commuters on the roads and daily due to the what? Or you say we must approve the budget, fail to simply provide water in hospital. Honourable Speaker, the EFF support the budget. The department must write with its budget to save the lives of our people and the children, fix all the dilapidated roads, punch all the dangerous potholes.
Honourable Member.
In conclusion,
Your time is up.
I thank you, MEC, for your behavior in this sitting. Thank you very much. Continue.
I will now call upon the Honourable T.A. Sikaledi. Honourable Sikaledi, you are given 5 minutes.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I think the protocol has been observed. The Department of Public Works is one of the most critical departments responsible for economic stimulus alongside economic development in this province. This 5.8 billion budget under Vote 8 is presented at a time when our province is experiencing one of the most painful socio-economic periods in democratic history, where youth employment is at a staggering 49.3%, according to Stats SA's first quarterly report. This statistic is a huge blow to many young people who continue to be secluded from the economy due to inefficiencies of government policy. There have been promises of recovery, job creation, and infrastructure renewal, and yet these promises remain words on paper because the department lacks the internal capacity, efficiency, and discipline to turn the budget into tangible outcomes. Previously, we were told that the department aligns itself with the National Development Plan and an MTDP, and yet reality on the ground reflects something far more disconnected. At an annual growth rate of only 1.7%, the Mpumalanga's economy is in stagnation. We are failing to reach even the most modest 3% growth rate target required to start absorbing unemployed youth. Yet this budget reflects no sense of urgency to change that trajectory. Honourable Speaker, I have to say that we are very much concerned that the department continues to rely on EPWP as a contingent to reducing unemployment, whereas the EPWP program should be seen as a means to an end. Which end, may you ask? The end of attaining a permanent job, which is absorption. At the end of the day, without absorption, we are just recycling the unemployed and playing semantics with statistics. Honorable Speaker, the department continues to receive billions for infrastructure, and yet chronically, projects are not being completed on time, within budget, and with the original scope being carried out. This incurs accruals leading to certain percentages being wiped out for the next financial year. Already 20% of this 5.8 billion you already know has been wiped out. Only 49 out of 97 building projects were completed. Transport infrastructure projects were delayed due to poor planning, contractor underperformance, and the lack of internal technical expertise. Delays in payments and poor contract management reflect a weak internal system, not a lack of funding. Despite this, there is no concrete plan to strengthen project management, engineering oversight, and contractor accountability. The department has confirmed that it transports over 75,000 learners every day, yet admits that the system is not affordable. Instead of restructuring the model, improving planning, and incorporating school rationalization and boarding options, the budget continues to fund a highly inefficient and unsustainable operation with no innovation in delivery or oversight. The shortage of inspectors, route verifications, and operator vetting leaves many children vulnerable and puts communities at risk. With an unemployment rate that shames our democracy, because Public Works has the opportunity to provide an inclusive environment for infrastructure to drive the economic stimulus of this province. Out of a population of 51 million, a target was set for 9,319 people to get jobs, which is depressing. The department lacks a viable human resource strategy, systems, and project pipeline needed to massify EPWP, especially youth, women, and people with disabilities. We do not need more slogans. We need a dedicated, skilled unit focused on job creation programs, something that the department currently does not have. With that being said, we are committed with working with you, MEC, and highlighting these issues and providing corrective measures. As the saying goes, if the ship sinks, it sinks with all of its passengers on board. I thank you, Speaker.
I now call upon the Honorable W.L. Weber, and you are given 3 minutes.
Madam Speaker, may I remind this House once again what King Solomon of the Bible said. He said, do the basic things first, then you do the nice things. That's the message I want to convey. When I was thinking about this budget, whether to support it or not, I asked myself, what would be my reason not to support it? My reason would be we are not apportioning enough funds to this department. That would be my reason. Then when I was listening to the Honourable MEC talking about the jobs that are being created with the various contracts and things that they built, I disagree if the aim of a project by the department is to create jobs. That should not be the aim. The aim should be to build infrastructure so that the economy can flourish, so that the economy creates the jobs, not the department. That's the view that my party has. Now, Madam Speaker, if I look at what is being done, I want to draw your attention once again to the parliamentary village. I would like the MEC to give us the undertaking that during this administration, we, the members of the legislature, will have the opportunity to stay in the parliamentary village. I want to inform my grandchildren that when I was young, when I was had not reached 100 years, I was staying in this village. I want to have that privilege.
Conclude, Honourable Member.
Must I conclude?
Less than a minute now.
Madam Speaker, I think that being the only opposition party, you must give me another few minutes. Now, Madam Speaker, I think the speech of the MEC was well presented. I believe that he's doing his best, and on that basis, I'm prepared to support the budget, notwithstanding that I'm opposition party, but this is the last time.
My speech, thank you, MEC. But the only thing that I didn't edit is that Action SA supports Budget Vote 8 because infrastructure is the backbone of service delivery, economic growth, and social mobility. If we want to talk about job creation, rural access and safety, we must begin with roads and public infrastructure. We note with optimism the department's plans for upgrading rural and township roads in Region 7, Mkhondo, JS Mroka, and Bushbuck Ridge. Job creation through the expanded public works program and the rollout of roads maintenance and resealing projects across the province. However, this budget must deliver visible results on the ground, not just in spreadsheets. Speaker, this support comes with Action SA clear message. Job creation is accessible by road and when training and work. We support this budget because we believe that with proper oversight and a focus on delivery, this department can uplift communities and stimulate local economies across Mpumalanga. Let us make sure the roads we build lead to opportunities, not corruption. I thank you.
I will now call upon the Honourable ST Sikwakwa, and you are given 8 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier on his absentia, the Leader of Government Business, Honorable Mashilo, Honorable MECs, Honorable Members of the Legislature, by Mbala Sport Industry. Honorable Speaker, we anticipate that the budget will address the department's regulatory framework, project maintenance and management, and its ability to combat corruption and ensure value for money in the infrastructure projects. It is also important that the department reflects on the repositioning of old government buildings and infrastructure, such as Elijah Mango and others. To deliver on its mandate, the department must have a set of its priorities in the following: the importance of infrastructure development in rural areas and townships, areas historically disadvantaged by apartheid, to stimulate economic activities and create opportunities. The role of infrastructure in driving economic growth. To deliver on its mandate, this department has faced some challenges in the form of construction mafias. When implemented, parts of the country, construction mafias are often referred to as astonished or business forums. These groups typically invade construction sites, demanding money or stake in development projects. Such acts delays development and deprive our communities of access of much needed amenities. Honorable Speaker, potholes remains one of the biggest challenges in our road infrastructure, and they are the cause of many accidents and damages to motor vehicles. We urge the department make it compulsory that all gravel roads are regularly attended to after there has some achievements to be proud of, such as Akabaki Contractor Development Program as an empowerment tool to open doors for young people and previously disadvantaged groups. The provision of scholar transport, the number of jobs opportunities created through EPWP, and the number of entrepreneurs created. Honorable Speaker, we have noted and appreciate that the large part of the budget caters for infrastructure. The infrastructure investment will ensure quality and sustainable roads for the province, as it will open job opportunities and uplift emerging entrepreneurs, subcontracting to main contractors, upgrading and maintaining our provincial roads. We appreciate the swift response by Honorable MEC for the refurbishment of road between Kamhlushwa and Boschfontein, Aniva, D2943 in Komazi. We look forward to the refurbishment of the road, the rest of the road from Aniva to Matsamo Plaza. We further call the department to also consider the upgradation of Mlumati Bridge when the refurbishment of the remainder of the road D2943 mentioned above. The conditional grants received by the department is much appreciated and will assist a lot in the fight against the high rate of unemployment, especially the extended public works programs. Honorable Speaker, we acknowledge and appreciate the investment drive of Moloto Road and other roads under construction within the province. Such infrastructure development will uplift emerging contractors, create job opportunities, and have a safer roads. Honorable Speaker, I therefore move for the adoption and approval of the budget of 5,876,914,000 that has been allocated to the department. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I now call upon the Honorable T.S. Thomo.
Uzobuthola MEC Mfana soseduza.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity once more. Probably, Speaker, it will be proper of me to firstly appreciate all speakers, all political parties for what has been outlined by Honorable Muela. He correctly outlined the importance of the department. I always say to the colleagues in the department, if public works fails, the entire government of Mpumalanga is going to collapse. So all of you, I think, understand that, but Honorable Muela helped me to at least outline that. Honorable Muela, I think we no longer speak about completion of Mkondo Boarding School. As I speak to you, there's learning happening there. There are children in Mkondo Boarding School studying with full uniform and everything. When I was here in this very podium in the last financial year, Honorable Weber, I committed that the 4 problematic projects are going to be completed by myself. And I can proudly say before yourself that we have completed the fresh produce market, we have completed Middleburg Hospital, we have completed Mkondo Boarding School. The next one in September in terms of the construction of houses is going to be Parliamentary Village. So prepare your grand cause by the council and the executive mayor of Nkomas. We made a commitment that we're going to construct that road. But firstly, because in terms of construction, you don't just come with graders, asphalt, and so on and so forth. There are processes that still need to be undertaken. For this financial year, we committed that we're going to do planning and design. And I can confirm to you that that process has already started. And we even communicated in writing to the executive mayor, in writing to the councillor concerned. So that is another issue which is being dealt with. Klipval, our view as the department is that, yes, of course, we should continue with the second phase. But Klipval is located between KZN and Mpumalanga. And our view is that there has to be some engagements between ourselves and the KZN government in order for us to reach a consensus so that how we can jointly construct that. But our view again is that we can't prioritize that road because that road is in bushes. There are no houses in between there. But you are complaining about Gaoi, which need an urgent attention where people reside and so on. So our view is that let us prioritize where there's people staying there. I just don't know how did we arrive to say public works must provide water. It is not our jurisdiction, Honorable Mashilo. Provision of water is issues of municipalities. Not unless you are talking about issues of artisan, which I strongly believe that Honorable Manzini outlined yesterday, that they are also in their processes of hiring artisans, and ourselves are also doing that in assisting them. Probably if it's that, we can't. So that is a stern warning which we are saying even to these ones that are currently existing. The tender that we have issued is strictly in line with the NLTA. People that are not going to comply with that tender are not going to actually be nursed by ourselves. So we're going to do things by the book. So that is the commitment which we are making before this House. The issues of rape, I think I need to get into the bottom of that. I was not actually aware. Honorable Masia probably will need to also assist me on that, working, of course, with the HOD and the DTG responsible or on the program. The issue of VOs, Honorable Ndimande, well, from where I'm seated, we are applying VOs in line with the prescribed legislations. I think it's 25%, if I'm not mistaken, not beyond that. But if there's a view that there's an abuse of VOs, I think we need to go back as a department and do a reflection, because that is also a problem. We're not paying what is actually should be paid to them. So that is why, let me just take and give you an example. If we want a grader operator, and Msobo Mine wants a grader operator, that person who's interested in that post is not going to apply at Public Works because of the SARAL, but it's going to go to the private sector. So I think we still need to balance that. But also, you are correct, if we lack technical expertise, our view is that probably we need to try and see on how we can maybe engage the powers that be in terms of salary adjustment so that it can be equal to the needs of those that want to assist government. You know, out of all people, projects not completed, I always outline this in the portfolio committee, that there are many factors involved. And most or some of our politicians here are involved in some of these projects that are not completed on time. Go to Parliamentary Village. There are politicians involved. Go to many roads that are being stopped. There are politicians involved, including councillors. I even said to the Secretary of the ANC Provincial that this is the matter that they need to look into. I was with Honorable Mashilo the other day in Parliamentary Village. We were told that most of the people that are disrupting the progress of the projects more than anyone are politicians that are working in as councillors. So those are some of the issues that we need to actually appreciate and be prepared to deal with them ourselves as politicians. Because at the main, it's us politicians who are creating what you call construction mafias. Well, I think I responded to Honorable Weber, but the last issue that I put together is to ensure that we have sustainable and proper infrastructure that we construct. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
That concludes the debate on budget vote 8. Now the question before the House is whether we agree to adopt the report as tabled by Honorable Mlombo. Agreed to?
Agreed.
As so agreed. That concludes the business of the day. You are all requested to remain standing in your places until the procession has left the chamber. The House is adjourned until Thursday, the 24th of July 2025 at 9 o'clock in this very same chamber.